Welcome, children. Let's begin our second term with history, chapter number 5, When People Rebel 1857 and After. In this chapter, we'll study the outrage of the people of India from different backgrounds against Britishers as they were facing suppressions and hardship due to the policies made by the Britishers and the changes made by them in their policies thereafter. Policies and the people. In our previous chapter, we have studied that the policies made by the Britishers were affecting the lives of the Indian people in many ways. These policies of East India Company had effect on different people such as kings, queens, sepoys and peasants. So they started resisting against the Britishers as these policies were against their rights and sentiments. Loss of the power for the Nawabs, or you can say Nawabs lose their power. Since the mid 18th century, the kings had seen their powers deteriorating. They were losing their authority gradually. Residents were appointed in many states and the kings were not allowed to keep their army. Most of them lost their territories. Many kings and queens tried to negotiate with the company in order to safeguard their interests. For example, Queen Lakshmi Bai wanted the company to reorganize her adopted son as the legal heir. After her husband's death, Nana Sahib, the adopted son of Peshwa Bajirao II, pleaded that he should receive his father's pension as he was his legal heir. But the Britishers never accepted this as they were sure of their powers. Awadh was the last territory to be annexed in 1801. Britishers imposed subsidiary alliance there. According to the rule of subsidiary alliance, Indian rulers were not allowed to have their maintenance. In 1856, they took over it on the pretext of misgovernment of the territory if they failed to do so. The part of their territory was taken away as a penalty by the Britishers. This was done by Lord Dalhousie. The company even tried to worsen the authority of Mughals. They stopped minting coins as the Mughal king's name. In 1849, Governor General Dalhousie announced that the successors of Bahadur Shah will not stay in the Red Fort, and in 1856, Governor General Canning declared that the Mughal kingdom had come to an end with the death of Bahadur Shah, and his successor would be known as a prime and not a king. The peasants and the sepoys. In the countryside, the peasants and zamindars were burdened with the heavy taxes and rent levied on them. Even the method of collecting rent was very harsh. Many failed to pay their loans to money lenders and they were forced to give away ownership rights of their land. The Indian sepoys were also unhappy about their salary allowance and the conditions of service. Some of the new rulers were also against their religion sentiments. For example, in those days, people feared to cross the sea as they had the myth of losing their religion if they crossed the seas. So, when in 1824 they were asked to cross the sea to go to Burma, they simply rejected it. Though the sepoys were ready to go there by land route, hence they were severely punished. But as the issue remained unresolved, so in 1856 the company passed a new law that every Indian who wanted to be a part of the army had to agree to serve overseas. Sepoys were also against the Britishers' behavior with the peasants, as many of them were from the families of peasants. So the anger of the peasants quickly spread among the sepoys. Responses to reforms. The Britishers started changing the society of India. They prohibited sati and encouraged widow remarriage. After 1830, it became easier for Christian missionaries to own land in India. In 1850, a new law was passed that enabled the converts to inherit their ancestral property. Many Indians started believing that Britishers were trying to destroy their religion, culture, and custom. Mutiny becomes a popular rebellion. A very large number of Indians developed a feeling that they had a common enemy and they should rebel against them. Such a situation was experienced in North India during 1857. The company faced a massive rebellion in May 1857 when sepoys mutinied against the East India Company. It is stated as one of the biggest armed resistance to colonialism in the 19th century anywhere in the world. From Meerut to Delhi. On 29th March 1857, a soldier named Mangal Pandey was hanged to death for attacking his officers in Barakpur. After some days of this incident, some sepoys at Meerut refused to use the fat grease cartridges. Therefore, 85 sepoys were dismissed from service, and on 9th May 1857, they were sentenced to 10 years in jail for disobeying their officers. On 10th May, the soldiers marched to the Meerut jail and released the imprisoned sepoys. They attacked and killed British officers and declared a war against the Firangis. After this, they reached Delhi, where they were joined by the regiment of Delhi. They rose in rebellion and killed British officers and also captured the arms. After this, they set the building on fire. The sepoys then gathered at Red Fort and proclaimed Bahadur Shah as the leaders. Initially, the aging emperor was not ready to be a part of this rebellion, but finally he accepted this and wrote letters to the various kings to organize a confederacy of Indian states to fight against the British. As we know that many of the rulers controlled different territories on behalf of the Mughals and were threatened of losing their territories to the Britishers, so they joined Bahadur Shah Jafar in this moment. Britishers had never expected this, as they thought that cartridges would die down soon. The spread of the rebellion, or we can say the rebellion spreads. The rebellion in Delhi took almost a week to spread as news over whole of the India. Many regiments mutinied one after another at various places such as Delhi, Kanpur and Lucknow. Along with local leaders and Jamindars, many rose up against the Britishers. Nana Sahib, the adopted son of Peshwa Bajirao, gathered the forces and declared himself as governor under Bahadur Shah Jafar. Birjis Qadar of Lucknow, who was the son of the deposed Nawab Wajid Ali Shah, was proclaimed the new Nawab. His mother Begum Hazrat Mahal took an active part in organizing the uprising against the British. In Jhansi, Rani Lakshmi Bai joined the rebel sepoys and fought the British along with Tatya Tope, the general of Nana Sahib. Rani Avanti Bai Lodi of Ramgarh raised an army of 4,000 against the Britishers who had taken over the administration of a state. The British were greatly affected by these rebels. Many new leaders came up, such as Ahmadullah Shah, a Maulvi from Faizabad, raised a huge force of supporters and fought against Britishers in Lucknow. Bakht Khan, a soldier of Bareilly, and Kanwar Singh of Bihar were some of such fighters who fought against the Britishers. The company fight backs. Now the company wanted to suppress the revolt completely, so it brought reinforcement from England and passed new laws to convict the rebels easily. Delhi was recaptured by the Britishers in September 1857. The last Mughal ruler Bahadur Shah and his Begum Jinnat Mahal were sent to prison in Rangoon in October 1858, where Bahadur Shah died in November 1862. The British had to fight for 2 years to completely suppress the massive rebellion. Lucknow was taken in March 1858 and Rani Lakshmi Bai was defeated and killed in June 1858. Tatya Tope escaped to jungle and gathered tribal and peasants to fight, but later on he was captured, tried and killed in April 1859. Later on, the British were able to gain back control over the lost places and try to win back loyalty of the people. For this, they announced rewards for loyal landlords with the traditional rights over the land. Those who had rebelled were told that if they submit to British and if they have not killed white people, they would remain safe. But many of them were tried and hanged, which included sepoys, rebels, nawabs, and rajas. Aftermath. The British regained the power once again, but this time they changed some of their policies. Some of them are as follows. The British Parliament passed a new act in the year 1858 which transferred the power to the Crown from East India Company. A Secretary of State of India was appointed for the governance of India. He was given a council to advise him, and the Governor General was now known as the Viceroy of India. As the rulers were assured that their territories would not be taken away from them and that they could pass their kingdom to their heirs, even the adopted heirs, but with a condition of accepting the supremacy of the British Queen. It was also decided that ratio of Indian soldiers in the British army be reduced and more British soldiers be brought so that there should be no such revolt again. Now the soldiers of Bihar, Awadh, Central India were not recruited. Rather than Gurkhas, Sikh and Pathans were considered for this job. The land and property of Muslims were taken away as the Britishers were suspicious of them that they were responsible for the rebellion. The Britishers started respecting the culture and custom of Indians. Policies were made for jamindars and landlords which gave them security over the lands. Thus, a new phase of history started. Thank you.